Hello, friends, and welcome to NFL Daily presented by MyBookie. I'm Tom Downey, alongside me, Harris Rubenstein, and we've got your Week 1 NFL preview coming up here at long last, Harris. It's actually a real NFL game day, none of this preseason stuff.
I can't believe that we actually have an NFL game to talk about and watch tonight. We get some real life football. This is awesome.
I can believe it. This is how schedules work.
I'm still pinching myself. We got the Pats tonight versus the Chiefs. Great, amazing AFC playoff potential game. I'm pumped.
Now, you mentioned Pat's Chase. That's not all we have on tap for you guys today, though. All the latest NFL news and rumors, plus a breakdown of every game happening this week coming up at you in just a little bit, plus picks against the spread presented by mybookie.ag. And folks, we are 100% live on today's show, so if you've got thoughts, comments, questions, reactions, whatever, get them in the comments section. Producer Brett Scott behind the scenes can bring them up on screen throughout the show. Brings a little life to the show. I think it's my favorite part of doing these shows live on Facebook is the comments. I
love getting some personal thoughts in there. I love getting some passion from all of our fans. I love seeing it.
The trolls are great too. I'm not going to lie. I find them funny, so keep those coming here, folks. Also, don't forget to download the Chat Sports app at chatsports.com/app. Everything you need if you're an NFL fan. Stats, scores, news and rumors. It's all in one place from the sources you trust. Get it today at chatsports.com/app. And that's a nice little segue into our news and notes segment here. We will start here with Aaron Donald. And this was a little bit more earlier in the day, but he still has not reported yet. And it's looking increasingly likely that he will not play Week 1. At this point, it'd be a surprise if he did play.
I can't believe that this is actually happening. You know, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but Vontaze Burfict just got paid, and yet the Rams won't pay Aaron Donald, who's far and away a better overall player than Burfict will ever be. This is still, every single step of this has been stunning to me. Why don't you pay him?
This is the principle of the matter as to why they don't want to have it be this way.
This is such an NFL thing to happen. Hey, we have an all-world defensive tackle. We're going to have him miss the first 3 games because we don't need him. I don't know.
Part of the Rams tank plan? I don't know.
Whatever.
They need him on that defense. They're switching to that Wade Phillips defense. Donald is again going to be the focal point of the team's 100%. Defense. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL.
Remember what Malik Jackson did when he was in Denver? Look at his difference between Denver and Jacksonville. That's what Aaron Donald's going to be. Malik Jackson in Denver.
And now to our next little news and note. Again, the Chiefs here, they're playing the Patriots in an hour and a half, somewhere in that range. They cut TJ Spiller today. So they have the game, and they're cutting 2 players, which is just weird to me.
Jordan Devey is actually a big-time former Patriot. He was on the team in the practice squad for, I think, like 3 years.
They just wanted the playbook then.
Oh, yeah, I think that I'll say this. He wasn't good. He wasn't very good. So I guess, a missed opportunity for revenge for Jordan Devey.
So Spiller I think he's being cut twice now this week, looking increasingly likely that his time in the NFL is, let's just say, limited.
One of the great busts of
he had a couple good years. He had a couple good years, and then it was gone.
He got one great play last year for the Saints where he won them a game in overtime. I think, was it against the Cowboys?
I don't remember who it was against.
I forget who it was against, but I remember he had a game-winning touchdown. But that's all you need to know about CJ.
Well, you mentioned busts, and I think Calvin Pryor is trending towards that direction as well. He got in a fight with a teammate the other day, and now he's been cut. So remember, the Browns traded for Pryor earlier this offseason and traded with the Jets. The Jets were going to cut him. He went to the Browns to kind of try and rehab his stock, and now he's a free agent. I would imagine he'll get signed. He was a first-round pick back in 2014, but I guess Hugh Jackson just wasn't having it.
I'm going to take the L on Calvin Pryor. I really thought that he was going to be super, super good. I thought he was going to be the answers for the Jets at that strong safety spot.
He was early and then just kind of
He was, honestly,
away.
Until he played the Patriots, and then his career just kind of
all connects back to the Patriots for you, huh, Harris? Every
does.
Time, man. They need to lose to get you off that high horse of yours. Browns are up next here again. Myles Garrett, it's a high ankle sprain. Now, that typically means a 4 to 6 week injury. So call it at least 4 weeks here. So it's a tough break for Garrett, who looked really good in the preseason, looked very disruptive, and looked like he was going to be an impact defensive end for the Cleveland Browns. Now he's going to miss probably at least a month, probably a month and a half.
The good news is this was not the worst thing that could have happened. A high ankle sprain is very recoverable. It's just kind of rest and a little rehab. Nothing's torn, no surgeries. He'll be just fine. If you're the Browns and you have to deal with an injury, a high ankle sprain is one that you can stomach.
And then one more news. Now, this one a little bit more breaking. The Bengals have extended Vontaze Burfict. It's a 3-year, $38.68 million deal. That makes him the highest paid non-pass rushing linebacker in the NFL.
I mentioned this to you before the show. We live in a world where Burfict now gets paid more than Luke Kuechly.
All about when the contracts get signed, man.
Stafford gets paid more than
all about
Brady
when the contracts get signed.
This is just nuts.
Simple inflation. Everything keeps going up, and so
can't cover anybody. He's an outstanding run defender.
He can cover a little bit.
He can't cover anybody.
He's better than Maluk on that Bengals team.
He can cover someone if he chips him at the line and gets suspended for 6
games. When Vontaze Burfict
Boom.
isn't suspended, he's a fantastic NFL
That's
linebacker.
fair. I'll give you. He is in the upper echelon.
If it wasn't for all these suspensions, this wouldn't have been like, hey, oh, what are you doing, Bengals?
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, oh,
6 games though. Good job, NFL. They actually got a suspension. 3 games.
3 games. It got knocked down. It got knocked down because just the suspension was you're Vontaze Burfict. Stop doing these things.
Yeah, basically, as usual.
But that brings us to our first weigh-in here, folks. Once again, I'm Tom Downey. Alongside me, Harris Rubenstein. Was the extension between Burfict and the Bengals a good one for Cincinnati? Again, it's a 3-year, 38 and a little bit of change. We'll call it $38.5 million extension for Vontaze Burfict. Just under $13 million per year. So, Harris, I'll start with you. Good deal or no?
100% good deal. If you're the Bengals and you're just looking to actually get someone on your defense that's actually going to be consistent and stay there, then Vontaze Burfict is your guy. This is, like we've talked about before, it's one of the best run-stopping linebackers in the entire NFL. He can cover a little bit, but for the most part, this is the center point of their defense.
It is.
And who are you going to replace him with? You're going to re-sign
Vinny Ray.
Good old Ray Malaluga. Vinny Ray. Oh, God. That's a name, truly.
Hey.
But good for Vontaze Burfict getting his money from the Bengals. Good on the Bengals for making it happen. And hey, when your guy goes down, what's the best way to show him some support?
I just want to see how much
a lot of
guaranteed money is involved on this contract
Hey,
because we know Burfict, he'll probably get suspended again.
$3.3 million in a signing bonus. That's a nice chunk of change for Burfict to last his suspension out.
We're going to go here through our game-by-game NFL Week 1 preview. We start with a game that won't be being played this week. Bucks at Dolphins. Again, I'm sure all of you at home have seen this already. Been postponed due to Hurricane Irma. Rescheduled to Week 11.
Sometimes you have a football game to play, and other times there's a Category 5 hurricane off the coast of your state. Probably shouldn't play a football game during a hurricane. Not great. Not a great decision. Good job, NFL.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start previewing here all of the Week 1 games. But before that, Harris, ever since I started hosting these NFL shows, I'm always getting hit up for advice. And normally it's, hey, who do I start in fantasy? Or who you got this week? You know, Patriots or Chiefs, Packers, Seahawks, who do you have? Well, let me tell you this, folks. When you're betting, it's just as important as to where you bet as to who you bet on. That's why I always tell people to go to mybookie.ag. They are the sponsor for today's shows. And to celebrate the start of the NFL season, Harris, you might not believe this, they are matching initial deposits up to $1,000. So if you put down, let's say, $500, they're going to match you $500.
Match my $500.
They're going to slap down another $500 for you. Now, to get that, use promo code CHAT when you sign up. That's CHAT. You can head to mybookie.ag. That's the website. Or if that's complicated for you for whatever reason, just go to chatsports.com/bet. It'll take you there. Use promo code CHAT. It'll match your initial deposit.
I'm actually trying to get over the idea that a betting company is going to give me money to
Free
bet
money.
more. I can't get over it. That's
money.
a deal of the decade. I'm going on there after this to throw in a couple more bets at it. That's unreal.
I'm already signed up there. They gave me the initial deposit fee as well. So use promo code CHAT, folks. They will match your initial deposit. All right, let's go and get started here with our Week 1 NFL preview. Once again, brought to you by mybookie.ag. Harris, we start with a really good game.
Amazing.
Seahawks at Packers.
Oh, yeah.
The Packers are favored by 3. It's an interesting matchup here where this is something you pointed out to me earlier. The Seahawks offensive line against a bit of a revamped Packers defensive line. They've added some more front 7 pieces.
I don't know if the Packers defensive line is necessarily great, but it's incredibly deep. So this is going to be a Packers team that's going to rotate a lot of pass rushers. Ahmad Brooks and Julius Peppers are going to probably split snaps since they're both on the older side when it comes to age, obviously, in the NFL. But for the most part, I'm more concerned about the Packers defensive backs. Doug Baldwin over the past 3 years has become one of the prime time wide receivers we have in the NFL. The Packers don't have any good defensive backs. If you're gonna go ask Julio Jones what he thinks of the Packers DBs, but I think the Seahawks have a little bit of a leg up here because the Packers back 7, is pretty poor.
All right. So I agree with you there. The Packers secondary was a major concern. They were pretty beat up last year. And they're healthy now. They brought back Devon House. I think they'll be better this year.
Yes, definitely.
Not that they could be any worse.
Again, go ask Julio Jones.
And speaking of worse, the Seahawks offensive line didn't get any better.
No, it did not.
And that's what concerns me. So, folks, you can see the little reaction poll. Make your pick. Heart for the Seahawks. Wow face for the Packers. Packers favored by 3 in this one. And we will bring these up here later in the show to show you who you all picked against Harris and I's predictions as well.
Absolutely.
I got the Packers in this one, Harris. Even with the points there, I think they'll win by at least 3. Seattle struggles on the road. The offensive line struggles on the road when they don't have that home field advantage. I think they'll have some issues up front.
Yep.
We saw them start slow last year where the offensive line, the new offensive line, was still gelling. That's the case again this year. I think the Packers at home pick up the win.
I'm going to agree with you that the Packers are going to win. However, I'm going to take the Seahawks in the points. I know
dangerous game.
That 3 is a
dangerous
tough
game
thing to really go after, but if you want to be covered, I can't see the Packers winning this game by anything more than a point or 2. I think the actual score of this game is going to end up being like 27-26, 28-27, something really close, and Aaron Rodgers is just going to pull it out at the end because, again, Aaron Rodgers is on the warpath this year.
You mentioned that many a time.
This Seahawks team is going to be great all season long, but in Green Bay, week 1, bad offensive line. I think you're right. It's going to take them a couple weeks to gel, so I think the Packers are going to pull this one out. But take the Seahawks in the points if you're me.
All right. Next up is Raiders and Titans. The Raiders are on the road in this one in a little potential playoff preview matchup.
Another good game.
Both these teams are trending upward right now, and I remember both Carr and Mariota had those leg injuries last year, but they're fine now. They're all healthy. Some new pieces, I think, for Tennessee on the offensive side of the ball. Eric Decker, Corey Davis.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a big boost for that offense.
Absolutely. I love Corey Davis in this offense. He's the ex-wide receiver that they've been looking for years now. Eric Decker is going to do a good job of really keeping together what is a very young receiving core. Rashard Matthews last year was one of the NFL leaders in touchdowns, so look for him to maybe take a step back in terms of touchdowns, but I think yards, he should be right there. And then good old, reliable Delaney Walker, still in Tennessee, doing his thing. This is a fun Titans team. I'm really excited to see what they can do this year.
Oh, by the way, Marshawn Lynch is back.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Running behind the best offensive line in football.
We kind of forgot about that one.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch is back. The Titans are favored by 2.5. This is a home game for Tennessee. I do think this ends up being a close one. The Titans, as we talked about earlier, new look secondary, too.
Yep.
They've got some new pieces in there. Adoree Jackson, Logan Ryan, Jonathan Cyprien. Interesting matchup against that Raiders passing attack.
Absolutely.
My concern is for the Raiders defense. It's not a great defense. Outside of Khalil Mack, the pass rush was not very good this year. The Titans, you mentioned how good the Oakland offensive line is. Titans are not that far behind.
No, not at all. They had a great offensive line last year. Jack Conklin, who's a pick that people really shook their heads at, ended up being one of the best tackles in all of football last year. And obviously Taylor Lewin on the other side holding down that left tackle spot. But if you're the Raiders and you're looking at your defense, that secondary is just, it scares you.
The pass defense overall is brutal.
I don't even know. Is Gary Conley going to play in this game? I know he's been a little banged up, but
he's going to play unlike Obi Melfano, who's on IR.
Rest in peace.
I'm more curious as to when does Sean Smith play? Because he pretty much got demoted. The big high-priced free agent got demoted, so I'm curious.
And you got a lot of speed. Here's a name to watch out for if you are a fantasy owner looking at the Titans. Taywan Taylor, their new draft pick out of Western Kentucky, has been owning it all preseason long. That's a name to look out for. I think he's going to do a lot of work in the slot this year.
PPR league. He's going to be that pass catcher guy. I might not get a bunch of touchdowns, but I got the Titans in this one. I got called a hater earlier this week by a Raiders fan, but at home with Tennessee, I think that exotic smash mouth offense with some new passing attack, I think Tennessee's going to surprise the Raiders.
I'm going to have to go on the other side of it. I might take the points. I'll decide as we go, but this Raiders team is going to be super fun. I think this is going to be a close game, but boy, is this going to be a shootout. This is offense for days. That Titans defensive line is bad. Marshawn Lynch behind the best offensive line in football. Touchdowns for days. This might be like 35-30. This might be some crazy high-scoring game. I can't wait.
All right, Giants-Cowboys is our next one here. Another Sunday night game.
I love it.
Another Sunday night game. These teams always play on Sunday night. The fourth time in the last 6 years they've opened on Sunday night. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Makes that money.
Hey, it's a perfect primetime game here for Giants and Cowboys. Zeke Elliott will play
Thank goodness.
for the Cowboys. That's huge for them. The Giants, though, they've won the last 3 meetings. They have stifled the Cowboys' offense. It hasn't been as effective against that elite Giants defense.
Yep.
This is going to be a fantastic game, I think. And there's some fun, often we see this year, little matchup of strengths and weaknesses, where the Giants have that great defensive line, that great defense, and the Cowboys offense. On the flip side, the Giants' offensive line's pretty bad, but the Cowboys' defensive line
not really that
is
much
not good either.
And you know who I feel awful for in all this? I feel bad for Paul Perkins. Paul Perkins is probably going to be the starting running back for the Giants. All the talent in the world. He's running behind a team that can't run block, and he's running against a team that actually has a decent run defense. It's a shame to see what's going to happen to Paul Perkins this game. He's not going to be able to get anything with this offensive line. But this Giants-Cowboys game is going to be a lot of fun. Two potential playoff teams here. I think both of these teams are going to end up being in the playoffs, and I think they're going to match up again in Wild Card Weekend. So,
spread in this one, Cowboys favored by 4 at home. That was a big jump once Ezekiel Elliott was cleared and able to play. So again, those of you watching, give us a heart if you got the Giants and the 4-point spread, or if you got the Cowboys winning by 4 or more.
I'm going to take the Giants in this one. We'll get to our official picks later a little bit, just kind of go through this, but Giants with 4, I could see the Giants winning this game on the road. They did a great job last year to shut down Zeke and Dak. I think we'll see something similar.
I got the Giants as well. This has historically been a very low-scoring game with very close games. I think this very well could be a field goal game in either direction.
Oh, a low-scoring game with Eli Manning as quarterback. Wow, you don't say.
Both games were combined under 40 points each last year. So the over-under right now is 47.
Take the under.
Take the under on that one. We're going to stick, though, in the NFC East here. We will talk Eagles at the Redskins. And this was a bit more of a surprising spread for me, where the Redskins at home are actually the underdogs this week.
The Vegas likes the Eagles this year.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting, seeing as you can make an argument. I don't really know which of these teams was better last year. I mean, the Redskins had a better record because they had a
half
tie.
a dozen of one, 6 of the other.
What are you going to do? Like, that's great. I don't know. I think the Redskins probably take the edge in this one just because being an underdog at home in the first game of the season, that's just not nice. Especially against a division rival who had a worse record than you last year.
Look, I get it.
Nice.
The Redskins are kind of retooling their offense. Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson are out, but Kirk Cousins is still there. The offensive line is still pretty good. It's not great. I think the
Trent
Eagles,
Williams is healthy for once.
Yeah, that's true. They do need him healthy. The Eagles, they added some new pieces on the secondary. I love the Ronald Darby trade.
I do.
I thought that was a steal for the Philadelphia Eagles. Gives them a big boost at corner. I still think, and I've mentioned this on other shows, and I'll keep mentioning it, the Eagles are a year away.
Yes.
They're a year away from being that true, Raiders team from last year where they take that big leap forward in year 3 of their quarterback, which I think the Bucs and Titans are going to make this year. I think they're about a year away from being that next leap forward.
And I think with the Redskins, this whole offense revolves around one thing, and really one thing only. Will Jordan Reed actually stay healthy this year? Because when Jordan Reed's on the field, this is probably one of the 10 most prolific offenses in the NFL. Without Jordan Reed, they're a middle to lower tier offense. Jordan Reed is kind of that piece on offense is what really takes him to the next level. Him being out is awful.
So I like the Redskins in this one. I like them straight up. I think they'll find a way to beat the Eagles. I'm putting 150 down on this game on mybookie.ag. I'm feeling good about it.
I think I might match it maybe a little bit lower, but I'm telling you, this Redskins team is going to come out firing. They're underdog at home against a division rival.
Yeah.
No, they're coming out firing.
Another game here. Ravens at the Bengals. We just mentioned the Burfict Extension earlier in the show. And then Baltimore, of course, they've just been decimated by injuries.
Bad.
It's almost not fair. In fact, probably is not fair.
Do you know what else isn't
Double-digit guys on IR.
Do you know what else isn't fair? What A.J. Green does to the Baltimore Ravens whenever he plays.
What A.J. Green does to a lot of teams.
That's fair. But whenever A.J. Green faces out against the Ravens, it's just nom, nom, nom. He eats the Ravens for breakfast every year.
The Ravens' offense looked pretty bad in the preseason, but not having Joe Flacco was a huge factor in that. He's expected to play in Week 1 as he's recovering from a back injury. I don't know if this is going to be a fun game to watch. This game strikes me as one of those ugly AFC North, drawn-out, bulldozing slop fests.
Maybe if we get some Joe Mixon action in there, maybe see what he's got, that'll be fun. But
I'm very confident that we will see Joe Mixon in this game, but my suspicion is that Mixon will work a lot between the 20s.
Yeah.
Hill's going to be Jeremy Hill's going to be your third down, or not your third down, your short yardage and goal line back.
Yeah.
And then Gio Bernard is going to be that pass catching back, third down, change of pace type guy. I think this is going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be very, very low scoring with limited offense because the Bengals' offensive line terrifies me.
Yeah.
The offensive pieces around them, around Andy Dalton, Hill, Mixon, Bernard, Eifert, Green, even Brandon LaFell, Tyler Boyd, and John Ross. Those are awesome pieces for your quarterback. Yep. But the offensive line was really bad last year, and they lost their 2 best players.
Yeah, the only really good.
That's not improvement.
The only really great offensive line they had last year was Andrew Whitworth.
Kevin Zeitler was really good too.
Who's been consistently one of the best left tackles in football. And they just let him go for nothing, which was crazy. Why would you not keep him in town?
They drafted 2 guys in Cedric Abuya and Jake Fisher, and they did not fare well last year. They got a lot of playing time. It wasn't good last year.
Not great. No, it wasn't. But this whole game is going to come down to, is A.J. Green going to put up 100 yards and a touchdown or 2 like I think he's going to? I think the Bengals are going to roll in this one.
You got the Bengals.
Oh, only because of A.J. Green.
I'm going against my hometown team. I'm picking the Ravens. There's no Vontaze Burfict. That's a massive blow for that defense. And I cannot trust this offensive line until they prove it. I just can't do it.
Last thing about this game, I am interested to see what Jeremy Maclin has left because I have no idea.
I think he was hurt all last year.
I
think he's going to be
exactly.
fine.
I have no clue.
He's going to be fine.
It's going to be fun.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up here the MyBookie Pick'em Challenge here. Once again, today's show is brought to you by MyBookie. There are a lot of online sports books out there, Harris, but MyBookie.ag is the only one that gets my stamp of approval here. This is the Pick'em Challenge. This is what you guys voted for here on our Facebook Live show today. They agree with me on the Packers.
That's fair.
They've got my back there.
That's fair.
They're on board with the Titans, which I'll be honest, surprised me.
That surprises me too.
I know that we have a lot of Raiders fans in the audience. They did not come through today.
I'm kind of
surprised.
Good. Look, good.
But good on you guys for picking the Titans with me.
I love that that Las Vegas loves the Titans this year. I'm all about that. That's great. And also, reminder, I didn't pick the Seahawks to win. I took the points because the Packers are not going to win by 3 points.
Okay.
They're going to win by 1 point.
All right. You get double credit if that happens.
Okay, thank you.
You
Good.
still get 0 if you're wrong, though.
That's fine. That's fair.
All right. They went with the Cowboys, which, again, that one actually doesn't surprise me. I know we got some great Cowboys users, viewers in the audience. Thank you all again, folks. Get your comments in if there's something really particular that you want to mention about why you picked a team. Producer Brett Scott can bring them up on air. They went with the Eagles. They went away from us. This is the only one so far that we were in agreement on, and we didn't get the backing of the fans.
I'm pretty surprised about that one, actually. This Eagles team is very good, but Alshon Jeffrey versus Josh Norman, and then after Alshon Jeffrey, it's kind of bad. So it's like Nelson Aguilar.
Torrey Smith.
The great.
Zach Ertz is awesome. Zach Ertz is awesome.
We'll get into Zach Ertz on another day. That dude has been that dude's Eric Ebron for the Eagles.
And then once again the Ravens over the Bengals. So it's 3 times 0 Harris right now.
Who thinks the Ravens are going to be good this
Literally,
year? The Ravens are going to be so bad.
Doesn't mean they have to be good. Just
That's
better
fair.
than the Bengals
That's
in
fair.
Week 1.
That's
fair.
all. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that.
The fans are on my side here.
That's fair. I'm telling you.
The fans are against you.
Just wait. AJ Green is he is so.
AJ Green can go off. Bengals can still lose this game.
He's going to dominate Jimmy Smith. Dominate. I can't wait. I miss watching AJ Green play football.
Once again, today's show is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. There are a lot of online sports books out there. MyBookie.ag is by far the best one. It's the one I use. It's the one Harris uses. Highly recommended, folks. If you put down a deposit here, they will match your deposit. You put down $200, they'll give you $200 in free money. 100% deposit bonus match. Use promo code CHAT when you sign up at MyBookie.ag. That is the website URL, folks. MyBookie.ag. It is legit.
That's an unbelievable deal. I used my bookie a little bit last year. I'm literally not only doubling down my money, I can't wait for them to double my winnings. My winnings, by the way, after I put more money down on the Bengals to win this game.
Not this week. Not this week. All right, more preview here and spreads coming up for you again in today's show brought to you by MyBookie.ag. We will start here with the Panthers and the 49ers. And this one I thought was kind of a low spread.
Yeah.
Panthers here on it's a road game, but they're only favored by 5.5 against a completely revamped 49ers team.
This 49ers defense is going to be super fun sometimes, but also super terrible most of the time.
This is there are a couple games every week when I'm putting my bets down that I go, now wait a minute. What am I missing here? Why are the Panthers only favored by 5.5?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the road thing. But they pounded the 49ers last year, beat them by 19 points. The Niners are not going to be a good team this year. They were building in the right direction, but do I think that Brian Hoyer can beat the Panthers? No.
No, I think
with those pieces around him, no.
I think it kind of comes down to the fact that you don't really know what you're going to get out of Kelvin Benjamin this year, and then after that, like their receiving core, Ted Ginn Jr. is gone. Devin Funchess is all right, but like he's not very good. He's not very good. So it's really all going to revolve around the running backs plus Curtis Samuel if he actually plays. maybe this Panthers team just isn't going to score a lot of points this year. Maybe that's what Vegas is telling us.
I'm really curious as to see what we get out of this Panthers offense.
Me too.
Because it is very much a potentially new look. They drafted Christian McCaffrey. They drafted Curtis Samuel. Both guys that can play halfback and play receiver. That screams shorter passes to me, which I don't know if that's really Cam Newton's idea because he's got such that powerful arm, but it will make life easier on him. And I got to see Matt Khalil not suck.
And also, Greg Olsen going for his NFL record. I think it was either 5th or 6th consecutive 1,000-yard season for a tight end.
So
I
reliable.
love Greg Olsen. Remember when he was on the Bears and he was just kind of like weirdly average, and then he goes to the Carolina, and he's probably one of the 5 best tight ends in all of football. Good for Greg Olsen. I hope he gets that record this year.
So I got Panthers, although I'm a little bit cautious because the spread seems lower than I thought it would be. Who do you have?
I'm going to take the Panthers as well. However, let it be known, this begins Reuben Foster's quest for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I love Reuben Foster.
Watch it.
He is a
coming.
stud.
It's absolutely coming. I can't wait.
Our good friend here, Chado, says the Niners will dominate the Panthers 33-17, so we know what direction he picked there. I believe that's a Niners hat he's wearing. Michael says the Panthers will smash the Niners. I'm on board with Michael there. I got Carolina.
I think the Panthers are going to smash him. Cam Newton might win this game by himself. Plus, this Panthers defense
He's done that before.
This Panthers defense is coming back fully healthy,
Luke Kuechly,
revamped.
huge.
Kuechly's back. That defensive line, again, coming in fully healthy. Kawan Short got that fat contract this offseason. I think this Panthers defense is going to be one of the 10 best in football this year.
Edison says Vegas knows Niner upset. He's got the Steph Curry profile picture. He's a 49ers fan.
Love
All right, next game up on our list here, Cardinals at the Lions. Okay. I think this is two teams that will be battling for a wild card spot this year.
Sure.
The Lions won't get past the Packers. Cardinals won't get past Seattle. Cardinals, the road favorites by 2 points. I think this is a really underrated team. This is my preferred pick this week. The Cardinals will beat the Lions by more than 2. This is my most confident pick.
I'm going to agree with you that the Cardinals are going to win. I think they're going to win, but I think this Lions team is going to be a little bit better than people give them credit for, and I think this game is going to be very close. I like the line of only 2 points for the Cardinals going into this, simply because I don't know who the Cardinals are going to throw to. I think Larry Fitzgerald's going to I think he's going to be fine, but after that, John Brown is hurt, and after that, the targets and the rest of the offense just kind of dwindles down. David Johnson, obviously.
You're forgetting about David Johnson.
He's going to score everything.
I would not be surprised if David Johnson hit 100 receptions this year.
For sure.
He is going to be their offense. He's going to do everything. I think John Brown, when healthy, is a solid number 2.
Oh, yeah.
The defense I like, but this is more about the Lions for me.
That's fair.
The offensive line, they're starting Greg Robinson at left tackle.
Not great.
Like, their injuries up front on the offensive line. The defensive line is banged up. Ziggy Ansah just got back. Their top sack guys are either gone or hurt right now because Ansah did not play well amidst injuries. So I'm a little worried about the start for Detroit. I think they'll be better near the end of the year once everyone gets healthy. But right now, I think Detroit's going to have some issues early on. So, put it on the board. I got the Cardinals by 2 or more. I love this bet for Arizona.
Lions defense is just totally devoid of stars. Like, they have some good players here and there, but after that, it's just kind of boring. Like, they don't have anyone you're like, wow, that guy is an unbelievable player. Like, Ziggy Ansah is very inconsistent. When he's on, but after
really
that,
banged up last year.
After that, I don't really see much coming out of this Lions
Gerard
defense.
Davis had some issues in the first week of the preseason, and hopefully he gets better. So that's an area to watch for. We'll see how the cornerbacks fare, but I got Arizona in this one.
Yep.
Heading over to the AFC North now, Steelers at the Browns as DeShone Kizer gets his first NFL start. No Myles Garrett this week. We mentioned this at the top of our show. High ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a little bit. Joe Hayden now gets his old team.
Yep.
And that little revenge matchup there.
Here, I have a fantasy pointer for people. You should start Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Harris.
You're very welcome.
I wasn't going to. Thank you for
you're very
that
welcome
advice.
for that hot fantasy tip from Harris. Look,
one of the best.
Who's going to win this game, Tom?
Oh, Steelers are going to win.
This game?
The question is if it's by 9 or more. That's the question. Now, here's my concern about this matchup. Cleveland played teams close last year.
Yes, they
did. Pittsburgh has not been a good road team the past 2 years.
Fair.
For whatever reason, Big Ben has just struggled on the road. Now, he gets Martavis Bryant back against the Browns with no Myles Garrett. I am a big DeShone Kizer fan. I think he's going to be a very good NFL quarterback. He was my top QB coming out of this year's draft. But I still can't put my money on the Browns yet. I just can't.
I actually think this Browns offense is going to be super fun this year. Kaiser going up with Corey Coleman, who I think is probably going to be the breakout player this season.
That's a good combo there because Coleman can fly.
Also coming in there. David Njoku, I don't know if he's going to actually do anything this year, but he's so talented.
I'm not a big Njoku guy because he is so raw. He's super raw.
He's just going to have raw next to his name for the next 4 seasons. And then Isaiah Crowell last year, Isaiah Crowell woke up last year and said, I am the premier back on this team.
Crow is my boy.
And also,
I love Isaiah Crowell.
Duke Johnson is going to kind of go into the Christian McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell slot receiver role. Duke Johnson's going to have a great year this year. This Browns offense is going to be fun, but they're not going to win games.
Look, I had the Steelers defense in fantasy this week. I cannot put my money on a quarterback getting his first NFL start. I just can't.
I want to hear a prediction from you. Who has a better chance this year of winning Offensive Rookie of the Year? Okay, Deshaun Watson when he eventually starts, or Deshaun Kaiser? Because right now Vegas has somehow Deshaun Watson higher, which is kind of crazy.
Look, I understand. I totally understand the rationale for Watson. He plays on a better team.
Yep.
That said, I cannot put my money on for NFL Rookie of the Year on a guy who's not a starter yet.
That's fair.
He's not playing.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I will take Kaiser.
Okay.
I have a tough time saying it, but I will take Kaiser.
Remember, QB1 Deshaun Kaiser.
Deshaun Kaiser. QB1. All right, we will head now to our next one. It is 5:31 here. 31 is 28 plus 3. Falcons at the Bears here.
Boom!
I nailed that one.
That's amazing.
Falcons fans, I am sorry. Follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney.
Love the play.
Falcons, Bears. If it makes you guys feel better, I'm picking the Falcons. 6.5 point spread. I think they're going to pound the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
This is still a very good NFL team.
This Bears team is. I don't know why. I had so many people tell me that the Bears were like going to be a playoff team this year, and this is the year the Bears take the next step. This is a 7-9, 6-10 football team. Right?
That might be being generous.
Even lower.
I think that's their ceiling.
They're not going to be good. Like, Mike Glennon is not a good NFL quarterback. I don't know how we haven't already, come to terms about this. And yet they gave him, $48 million? Not guaranteed, but the Falcons are going to roll.
They're paying him like a starter this year and then backup going forward, which...
It's weird. Usually when a quarterback gets killed like that in a Super Bowl, like Matt Ryan, did you think to yourself, man, that guy's going to be out for blood this year? Matt Ryan is on the regression train. Choo-choo, people. Choo-choo.
Pretty much has to be because he was hyperly efficient last year. It was an unsustainable number.
Not going to be able to do it.
That said, this is still going to be a really good offense.
Oh, for sure.
They return everyone except for Chris Chester, their right guard, who was their weak point, and their offensive coordinator. And they brought in Steve Sarkisian. It shouldn't be a massive downgrade at all. So I am all on board with the Falcons on this one. It's a road game that makes it a little bit trickier. But I like the Falcons with the 6.5 point spread. I think they can easily win by a touchdown. I think Chicago is just not going to be a good team this year. His
job as the offensive coordinator for the Falcons this year is literally do the same thing as last year and don't do anything different. This is one of these offenses that it's so hard to screw up. Just throw the ball to Julio Jones 16, 17 times a game. Throw the rest to Sanu, give Austin Hooper a couple nice receptions this year, and then dump it off deep to Taylor Gabriel for an easy touchdown. This offense is going to be super fun, but I'm a little worried about the defense.
Again, folks, make the picks here. Use the heart to pick the Falcons in the 6.5 point spread. Or use the wow face for the Bears to cover or pull off the upset, and then we'll bring up your votes here a little bit later on in the show. Jason says the Falcons may come out flat in this one. It is a road game. Even if they start a little bit slow, which I think is certainly a possibility here in that Super Bowl hangover type deal, I still think that they're going to find a way to win.
I think the Falcons will just find a way to win simply because the only person on this Bears offense that honestly scares you is Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard, by the way, was unbelievable last year. But
great player.
The offensive line isn't very good.
The tackles are bad.
Tackles are awful.
The interior is great. The tackles are bad.
And also, this is kind of the point where if you're a running back, Todd Gurley had a great rookie year, sophomore year, totally fell off a cliff. It was kind of the opposite for Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
But
who I had last year.
Is Jordan Howard going to have a Melvin Gordon season, or is Jordan Howard going to have a Todd Gurley season?
Or is it somewhere in the middle?
I think he's going to lean a little bit more towards the Melvin Gordon side of things because I think Jordan Howard is a total stud. But he could totally Todd Gurley us. We'll see.
All right, next game up is the Colts at the Rams, and I won't blame any of you if you guys skip this game here. Look, no Andrew Luck, so Scott Tolzien is starting for the Colts. The Rams won't have their best player, so I genuinely think here that in 3 of the 7 best players with Ryan Kelly, Andrew Luck, and Aaron Donald are not playing in this game.
And Vontae Davis, who's the best player on that Colts defense.
He's out.
Let it be known and let it begin. The Jared Goff comeback season will begin against the Colts. It's Goff time, baby.
This is the perfect start of the year for Jared Goff. He's got all these new toys. Andrew Worth is on the offensive line. That's a big boost for them. They traded for Sammy Watkins. They signed Robert Woods. They got my boy Cooper Kupp in the slot.
Let's go.
Love him. They have a very easy matchup against a not very good Colts defense that's also been rebuilt a little bit, and that's going to take some time to kind of acclimate. Goff should play well. If he doesn't, it's not a good sign for him going forward.
No, it's bad. And also, holy cow, the Rams have an okay offensive line this year. Not the best, not great, but it might be league average, just like what this offense is going to be this year. Sean McVay's role should be to get this offense to league average, have Jared Goff have more touchdowns and interceptions, have him get 38 plus 100 yards this year. Let's get Jared Goff back to NFL starting quarterback level. That should be the goal this year.
All right, again, folks, make your pick here. Colts, they are 4-point underdogs. Harris, can you put your money on the Colts? Are you doing it?
I'm going to put my money big time on the Rams to win this game. If there is ever a game that the Rams should win, they might just Rams it and totally blow it. But if there's a game that the Rams should win, it's this one at home against a team with Scott Tolzien as their starting quarterback.
Jason says don't sleep on Scott Tolzien. Jason, I am already passed out and done for the night. Scott Tolzien is not a very good NFL quarterback.
I'm asleep. Good night.
I'm sorry, Jason. I cannot do it. Scott Tolzien has never shown anything to be a quality NFL quarterback. He's had a handful of starts with the Packers and the Colts. He has 7 interceptions and 2 touchdowns.
Yes, Jason, the Rams are terrible, but
I hate this spread, by the way. I hate this spread.
Yeah, it's
because
kind
it's
of
4,
annoying.
and I think, this could totally be like a 3-point Rams win.
Yeah.
But I cannot, in good sense here, put any money on Scott Tolzien. I can't do it.
This Rams
This is my
team
money.
was super bad last year, but probably worse. I think they were a little bit better than their record said. I think they went 4-12 last year. They're bad. But
I'd say they were about what their record said they were. They were not very good.
I think this year they are looking at a 7-9, 8-8 record, which for the Rams would be great. That's what you're looking for.
Jason says he's all aboard the Colts here. So Jason, if you want to put some money on it, check out mybookie.ag. They have been in the business for years now. Their reputation is rock solid. They do 100% deposit bonuses, so you put down $100, they will match that and give you $100. You're making money for nothing there.
That's insane.
You got free money to spend there, baby.
Literally free money. Free money. Go do it.
Fast payouts as well, just 2 business days to get your winnings if you're making money there. All right, head to mybookie.ag or chatsports.com/bet. It'll take you there as well. Use promo code CHAT when you sign up. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus there. Free money for whatever you put down.
I love it. Go to my bookie.
Well, believe it or not here, folks, we have scratched.
Look
a
at that.
clean sweep, folks. Everyone is on board with us here where we are all in agreement. Harris and I and the fans voted as well here. So we've all got the Panthers -5.5, the Cardinals -2, the Steelers -9, the Falcons -6.5, and then the Rams -4. So Jason there, I guess in theory he can kind of redeem himself.
Those 5 games are free money. And then on top of it, my bookie's going to double it. That's double your free money. I'm serious though. The only game on there that's a question, in my opinion, is Lions Cardinals. Just in case.
That's my most common. I am worried about Rams Colts.
Kenny Holiday, who's the kind of nobody knows who he is guy that they drafted in, I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd round.
3rd round, Kenny Golladay out of NIU.
He might surprise people this year. If he goes off and kind of does like some Paul Richardson stuff that we saw him do in college, one-handed catches, just out-muscling people, I think that this Lions offense could be super fun. And maybe, just maybe Eric Ebron will actually do something this year.
If he can score, but I think Golladay might take those, right? Once again, folks, mybookie.ag, they are today's sponsor. Promo code CHAT when you sign up, 100% deposit match.
Do it.
That takes us to our next game, the Saints and the Vikings, Adrian Peterson revenge game.
Oh, yeah. Big time Adrian Peterson revenge
That
game.
said, I don't know who's going to get the carries for the Saints.
Nobody?
I think it's going to be a committee. I think you're going to see Peterson, you're going to see Mark Ingram, and you're going to see Alvin Kamara on passing downs.
If you were to say, hey, who's the worst team that Adrian Peterson should sign with this year? Probably would be the Saints.
The Saints, I mean, some really bad teams would have been up there.
I don't get it.
Like he probably shouldn't have signed with like the Jets. But
I don't really understand it. I think this Vikings team is a lot better than people give them credit for. Last year, they dealt with so many injuries. The defense was all over the place. Anthony Barr literally admitted that he kind of stopped trying.
Yeah.
But
the defense, and you could tell late in the year, they were deflated.
Yes.
They were amazing the first half of the year, and then they kind of steadily declined because there were some injuries, and the offensive line was just so horrifically bad they couldn't move the ball on offense. Sam Bradford was actually good last year.
He was.
You just couldn't tell because he had no time in the pocket.
Yep. And
he was highly accurate.
And again, very good because mostly of one guy and one guy only. Stephon Diggs has turned himself into one of the best inside receivers in all of football. Look for Stephon Diggs again out of my Maryland Terps to really just start ramping it up again. He I think just missed 1,000 yards last year.
He was close.
Definitely going to break it this year. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
This is the first time the Vikings starting offensive line will play together.
That's
they didn't
crazy.
play it all in the preseason. They made some late changes. So this is the first time they'll be on the field in game action together. So that's a concern. But on the road, even in Minnesota, I have a tough time trusting the Saints. I really like this Minnesota team. I think they're going to surprise people. I think there's a very good chance they make the postseason. So 3.5-point spread at home, I will take Minnesota.
And also with this Saints offense, Willie Snead's going to miss the first 3 games because of his suspension. They obviously traded Brandon Cooks to the Patriots. So it's Michael Thomas, who's outstanding receiver from Ohio State. They got him 2 years ago. He was great last year. After that, Brandon Coleman. I think Coby Fleener might be the most overrated player in the NFL right now. He is not good. He was not good on Indianapolis. He was not good last year for New Orleans. I have no idea how he got paid so much money. But this Saints offense might not be as good as they were last year, but Drew Brees is going to do what he does every year. 4,000-plus yards, 35-plus touchdowns, and no interceptions. That's just what he does.
My boy Jason is once again disagreeing with us.
Really?
In the comments. So next week, Jason, when you come back and watch the show, like the page so you get notified when we go live. Next week here, again on Thursday, we'll do another NFL preview show. We want to, either us or you will have some crow to eat.
Let's do it.
And it'll be fun. And either way, we'll have fun with it because that's what we're all about here at Chat Sports. Next game on the list, Chargers at the Broncos. Harris, I will let you start with this one.
The Chargers are going to win
this
football game.
I don't know why you say that.
Chargers are going to win this football game because this is finally the year that the Chargers stop being the little brother of the AFC West. I think the Broncos have the potential to maybe finish last in this division with an 8-8 record just because I think every other team in this division might be better with them. Phillip Rivers has more weapons than he's ever had in the history of his career. Their secondary is outstanding. Their defensive line has Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa on it. If there was ever going to be a Chargers team to be good, this is that Chargers team. They need to do it. This is the year. Trevor Siemian is bad. Let's go Chargers.
I want to believe in the Chargers. I truly want to believe in them, but I want to see it first.
That's fair.
So I'm going Denver at home. It's a 3.5 spread, or a 3.5 point spread. You are all aboard the Chargers for some reason.
How are the Broncos going to score?
How are the Chargers going to score against that Broncos defense?
Because TJ Ward is gone. And
he's the box safety.
For whatever reason, the Broncos decided to cut TJ Ward.
You mentioned TJ Ward like the 6th best player on that defense.
So then fine, then we'll go away from that. I still think that their linebackers are incredibly overrated. Brandon Marshall is not. They can't stop the run. They don't have anyone on the interior of that defensive line now that Malik Jackson's gone. Sylvester Williams is now. Where did he go? I think he actually went to the Lions or the Colts, maybe. I forget. But he's gone. They have no one in the middle of that defensive line. They have Von Miller, Shane Ray. We'll see. I don't know. I think this
Shane Ray's banged up.
I think this Chargers team, this is finally their moment to beat the Broncos.
You mentioned, and you're right, the Broncos, their issue last year was the ground game.
Yep.
They had a tough time stopping it. Melvin Gordon did not have great efficiency.
That's fair.
He was good because they ran it a lot. They gave him the volume, and he scored a bunch in the red zone. His efficiency was not that great. And the Chargers' offensive line worries me.
It does. I think they're past.
Dan Feeney's not going to start. Nope. They have a bunch of no names on the interior of the offensive line before Feeney starts because Forrest Lamp is hurt.
Yep.
I don't really trust Russell Okung at left tackle.
That's fair.
I would not be surprised if Von Miller had a field day. He got to Phillip Rivers, and it's a kind of an ugly game, but I think C.J. Anderson, Demaryius Thomas, Manuel Sanders, they'll make enough plays for Denver to gut out a win, as they've done the past 2 years.
I think the difference is that this year is that you have a fully healthy Jason Verrett on one side of the field for the Chargers, Casey Hayward on the other side of the field was one of the best cornerback tandems when they're actually both healthy and on the field. I think that finally this year you're going to see a Chargers defense that gels really well. The pass rush is going to make it hard to complete passes down the field, and the corner is going to be able to stop anything that goes on underneath. This is the defense the Chargers have been building for years, and if they only drafted Reuben Foster, but they didn't, it makes me angry. But this offense on the Chargers maybe has the most weapons that Phillip Rivers has ever had. And that goes back to the 14-2 team that they had against the Patriots. Tyrell Williams, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon, Hunter Henry, alongside Antonio Gates on 2 bionic legs. This is the Chargers team that was meant to beat the Broncos. I think they match up so unbelievably well on the outside with their wide receivers. And again, I know I bring it back to the Patriots all the time, this and that, but when the Broncos played against the Patriots last year, they had a big problem. If you shut down Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders is not enough to carry an offense. The Chargers have enough tools on defense to completely stop Demaryius Thomas in his tracks, and then after that, I'm sorry, I don't trust C.J. Anderson or Jamal Charles to win an NFL game at this point. I don't. I think this is the year the Chargers finally get ahead of them.
We will see what happens on Sunday then.
Fair enough.
All right. We'll head now to our next game here, Jaguars at the Houston Texans. This game will be played in Houston.
Woof.
I'll be honest here, these two teams I don't think are that far apart because there are some similarities here. The offenses are not very good.
No.
Like the quarterback play is not very good. The defenses are good though. I love the Jaguars defense. It's a young, talented defense. Still needs some time. Houston's defense we know is good. This is a 5.5 spread in favor of Houston. If this was a road game, I would have picked Jacksonville to at least cover. But at home at Houston, after everything that's happened,
I think you're right.
Texans.
You
Take the Texans.
know that hilarious Spider-Man meme where you have two of the Spider-Mans pointing at each other?
Yes.
That's the Jaguars and the Texans. They're
Yes.
just standing there pointing at each other like, hey.
Neither of
that's
these QBs are very good.
No, Tom Savage is bad. And then
0 career touchdown passes, Tom Savage, by the way.
Just when you think that Tom Savage is bad, the Jaguars are still starting Blake Bortles.
I mean, you can't go with Chad Henne. Like it's not like Henne's a massive upgrade.
I think Chad Henne would do a better job. I think Chad Henne would do a good job of not throwing pick sixes, which Blake Bortles might do twice this game.
I miss garbage time Blake Bortles when he just racked up fantasy points for me. That's what I miss.
And do you know what? We need to pour one out for Allen Robinson. Poor Allen Robinson.
Great talent, terrible situation.
Having to deal with all this shenanigans. Do you know what, Allen Robinson? You are DeAndre Hopkins light. DeAndre Hopkins just got a massive contract. You're going to get something close to that. Hey, be patient.
Again, folks, get your picks in here. Hart for the Jags, wow face for Houston. Houston is favored at home by 5.5 points. You know, you mentioned the Allen Robinson to DeAndre Hopkins thing there. Maybe by playing Blake Bortles, the Jaguars are enacting a sneaky tank move. And then to make sure that they get a QB
Josh
in
Rosen, or
Darnold, Allen, whoever ends up being good.
Lamar Jackson on the Jaguars would just fuel me for years. That'd be amazing.
Let me see him start being a more accurate passer, all right? And then we'll talk. Speaking of talented players, Fournette will play for Jacksonville. Wasn't even on the injury report, so he's going to be good to go there. I think this is going to be an ugly game, lots of defense. I bet we see one kind of defensive turnover in this one.
I think also this is just kind of a prediction. Don't be surprised. I think Jadeveon Clowney is the dark horse this year for Defensive Player of the Year.
I like that pick.
I think
like the pick a lot.
See him really escalate now that J.J. Watt is back.
It's tough with Watt on the same team.
He was so good last year without J.J. Watt.
The stat sheet didn't really show it, but he was consistently disruptive.
He might have been the best run defender in football last year.
He was fantastic.
He was unbelievable.
Well, folks, we mentioned ugly games, so we will take you now to the ugliest game this week, the Jets and the Bills.
Oh.
The AFC East Tankathon.
Yes. I love it.
This is such a weird game for me. Like, these teams are not good, and yet there's an 8.5 point spread for the Bills. Like it's so, I am very confident that the Bills will win this game.
Vegas must think the Jets are the worst team going into a season in years if they think the Bills are going to beat them by 8.5.
Like, this is not a good Bills team right now. Like, and to put an 8.5 point spread for the Jets is very, very high.
That's a higher spread.
This, folks, is what I mean when I say this is a higher than expected spread. I think, 5.5. That sounds about right. No, a full 3 points higher. This makes you go, wait a minute. Vegas knows. Vegas knows.
This is a higher spread than Vegas has the Falcons beating the Bears, and then they do the Bills beating the Jets. They think the Bills are 8.5 points better than the Jets.
It's the third highest spread this week. How crazy is that? So this screams to me that the mybookie.ag says, hey, put your money on the Bills.
I don't know.
So I'm going in the other direction.
Yes.
Give me the Jets. It's going to be ugly. There's going to be very limited points.
I'm right there.
Both these teams are going to have the same MO. Hey, we are going to run the football. We're not going to throw it. We're going to let our actually decent defenses kill time, and we're going to try and make this as close as humanly possible, keep us in the game late, hope our defense can make some plays, so it ends up being an ugly, close game with like a 6-point Bills win, so the Jets cover.
But I think we're going to see Jamal Adams in this game. I think at LSU he didn't really get a crazy opportunity to show the nation how good he was
so much talent
as a run defender. Now we're going to see what he does against the run. I think Jamal Adams is going to dominate against the run.
LaShawn McCoy is going to get about 40 touches in this game.
40.
They are going to run him until he cannot move his legs anymore.
He's not going to have legs at the end of the season.
Tyrod Taylor's going to be good to play. Josh McCown will play as well for the Jets, which I think is better for them.
Yeah.
Because Hackenberg and Pettier just haven't shown anything yet. So again, folks, get your picks in here. I am going with the Jets. Are you going with New York as well?
I'm going to take the Jets. I don't think the Jets are going to win, but I don't think the Bills are going to be able to score 8.5 more points than the Jets are. I'm taking the Jets and the point.
Just so we're clear, I hate myself for picking the Jets in this game. This does not make me feel good about myself.
Do you think the Jets are going to win?
No. They're just going to cover. No. I'm not picking the Jets in any game this year.
All right, good. All right, yeah. No,
they'll win one or two. I'm not picking them.
The Bills, I think, will be able to put up like 17 points in this game, but the Jets might put 10.
I mean, this could be like a 17-10 game.
Yeah,
I
if the
totally
Jets
agree.
score 10 points,
Totally agree.
Then you win. Take it. Take the Jets.
All right, one more game this week, and it is the one tonight. The Chiefs at the Patriots. Harris, I'm going to let you do this one and let you go on your Patriots spiel.
This is going to be a much closer game than people think. That 9-point spread is a tricky one.
It's gone down. It's gone down.
The Chiefs have
betted it down.
Tricky spread, but Tom Brady does not lose season openers at home. Not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. They're going to win this game by 7. This is going to be a 27-20 football game. We're going to see Chris Hogan catch a touchdown. You're going to see James White score a touchdown. Tyreek Hill is going to do something crazy exciting. But at the end of the day, this is Alex Smith versus Tom Brady, and Alex Smith is not going to win this game. By the way, I know that obviously the one we had Kansas City versus Patriots a couple years ago. Since that game where everyone thought the Patriots dynasty was over, the Patriots have gone on to win 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. I think they've recovered just fine from that Chiefs game. I think the Patriots got this one handily, but 27-20. They'll dominate all game.
So you think the Chiefs will cover the spread then?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay then. Well, that's interesting.
I took the Patriots, and I think they'll I took the Patriots just because I can't honestly have the Chiefs next to my name in the opening game in Foxborough with Brady off of a Super Bowl win on banner day. I still going to take the Patriots, but Chiefs with the points might be a good option. Okay.
Well, I went with the Patriots here because the Thursday night games, even when they got this extra time frame, going back to some of them, these historically are not close games.
That's fair.
These are often kind of starts, and then one team runs away with it. I like this Chiefs team a lot. I think they're a good team. I think they're a playoff team again this year. Even with the 8-point spread, my concern is outside of Tyreek Hill, if Malcolm Butler and/or
Stephon
Gilmore can cover him, who's going to make plays? And I love Kareem Hunt. I've made that very clear on many of these shows here that I'm a big Kareem Hunt guy. But we saw it with Zeke Elliott in his first game. It's a slow start for an NFL halfback. So I think it's a slow game for the Chiefs. I think the offense has some issues. With so many pieces for the Patriots offense, I think they get out to a good start. It's a relatively close game, but I like the Pats by 10 in this one.
I think it also, you look at Travis Kelce. Tight ends don't usually dominate the Patriots like Travis Kelce dominates teams. Usually they'll get some catches, 5 catches here, 4 catches there, 60, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown, but you're not going to see some crazy tight end numbers put up by Travis Kelce in this game. And if there's one thing we know about Bill Belichick when it comes to devising game plans, he takes away your best player every single time. He did it they attempted to do it in the Super Bowl against Julio Jones.
It didn't really work.
There simply isn't anything you can do against Julio Jones. But he's going to do that against Tyreek Hill in this game. If there's anyone that knows how to stop a quick little fast guy, it's going to be this Patriots team. But if I'm the Chiefs, and I said this yesterday about Jeremy Curley, if the Chiefs want to beat the Patriots, they need Tyreek Hill to basically do what Jeremy Curley does all the time. Get him the ball, get him in slants, get him in screen passes, give him the ball as much as you physically can at the line of scrimmage. If you try to send him out into that secondary, he's going to get caught up in Devin McCourty, one of the best safeties in all of football. Deron Harmon, one of the most underrated defenders in football. And then Malcolm Butler and Stephon Gilmore making up one of the best secondaries in the AFC. Get him the ball at the line of scrimmage, and I think the Chiefs might have a chance to keep this game close.
All right, once again, folks, this segment, this NFL Week 1 preview was brought to you by MyBookie.ag. It's the internet's #1 sports book. Bet on the NFL, college football, and so much more. I used it for all of my bets, except for my off-the-book bets. I already got one with friend of the show, James Yoder, who is going to have to owe me 2 24-packs of beer once Matthew Stafford is on the Lions again next season. A long-standing bet. He wanted to double down.
Okay.
Always double down. Speaking of doubling down, you put down a deposit with MyBookie.ag, they will match it. They will double it for you. You put down
That's
$300,
incredible.
they're going to give you $300 as well.
Yeah, James and I have a nice bet going on this weekend with Ohio State and Oklahoma for all you college football fans. I'm not going to tell you who our
College
picks
football
are. Come
show
back
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, excuse me. Come back tomorrow for our picks. But we have a nice little bet on the line. We're going to double it with this code for sure.
All right, MyBookie.ag is the site. If you use promo code CHAT when you sign up, they will match your deposit. Let's get to the picks here from the fans and us, and some differences this time around here between the fans and us. The fans like the Saints. They're all aboard the Saints. They think they can at least cover this one.
I don't see how are they going to stop the Vikings on offense? They have no defense. Their linebackers are horrible. They have one good defensive lineman. Goodness, is their secondary bad.
The fans are on board again with me. I think that, by the way, is a clean sweep. When we've disagreed, they've gone with me every time.
Well, do you know what?
The fans, I love you guys.
Guess what?
I love
Guess
you
what?
all.
They can be just as wrong as you, Tom.
The Chargers not going to
I'm telling you,
Come on.
look, I
Come
might
on.
be alone with the Chargers team. This is a wild card Chargers team. They're going to get blown out of the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win.
They are not making the playoffs.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
They are not making the playoffs.
That number 2 wild card spot has Los Angeles Chargers. And maybe if they can squeak out the division,
Stop.
We might have a.
Stop. I am shutting you down. You're done. Jaguars, Texans.
Playoff game against StubHub Stadium, 20,000 seats. It's amazing.
No more Chargers talk for
Carry
you.
it on.
Texans, Jaguars, everyone's on board with Houston. Everyone is on board with the Jets, too.
Let's go. They like the pick. 8.5 points of the Bills is crazy.
But they've gone with the Chiefs instead of the Patriots.
It's because everyone on social media hates the Patriots.
Yeah, I do too.
Everyone hates the Patriots.
You have made me dislike the Patriots more now.
Yeah, well,
That's all you do is thumb up here. So
That's
we're going to run you through here all of the picks that you guys have put in so far. Harris and myself picks as well. We'll start there with our first slate of games, Seahawks, Packers. Harris picked Seattle. You guys were with me with the Packers. Same with the Titans. Now, we both went with New York and the Redskins. You guys took the other NFC East teams, Cowboys and the Eagles. Again, you guys were on board with me going Baltimore over Cincinnati. Then it was the clean slate sweep chalk games here. Panthers, Cardinals, Steelers, Falcons, and Rams. Those were your guys' picks. And then kind of this last slate of games here. You guys went with the Saints instead of the Vikings over us.
I don't know why.
You were on board with me with the Broncos. You went with Texans, Jets. That was a clean sweep here among the three of us. And then you went Chiefs of the Patriots. So, again, Harris, when we disagreed, the fans were with me. These are intelligent sports fans.
Intelligent sports fans.
These are highly intelligent sports fans.
They're going to be just as wrong when the Chargers beat the Broncos by a touchdown. I can't wait.
No.
We'll just wait.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, you're totally wrong there.
Fine.
Once again, I'm Tom Downey. Alongside me is Harris Rubenstein. Big shout out to producer Brett Scott behind the scenes, making it all look pretty for you here on Facebook Live. Download the Chat Sports app at chatsports.com/app. Everything you need if you're an NFL fan, live stats and scores, all the latest news and rumors, it's all in one place. Get it today at chatsports.com/app. A big shout out to our sponsor today, MyBookie.ag. You go online, you sign up, use promo code CHAT. They will match whatever deposit you put down. Again, that's MyBookie.ag or just chatsports.com/bet. It'll take you there. That will do it for us today. For Harris Rubenstein and Brett Scott, I'm Tom Downey. You stay classy out there.